Divine greetings and gratitude, everyone. If y'all are new here, my name is Nuna. I am the witch, author, and poet of Magic of Eden. Welcome to your new spiritual safe haven. And if y'all are returning, hey family, welcome back to our sacred garden. I'm always honored, excited, and elated to be in your presence. And what we are going to be doing today is a reading. I don't know exactly what this reading is going to be about. We're going to just simply dive into it using our intuition. This is open to all signs. This is not going to be a pick a deck reading at all. This is just going to be a divinely guided intuitive message that Spirit has for us as our collective. As y'all know, it is my duty, it is my honor, it is my joy, it is my privilege, it is just like the best thing to me to show up in this capacity for our soul tribe. I am showing up in a way that I know that I am meant to show up in, and I also show up in other ways as well. I'm going to be giving us some divinely guided intuitive messages. I want to say that I want to be very fully honest and transparent. This message is I'm pretty sure it's going to bleed into the upcoming messages that I have to give y'all, because I have some dreams to share with y'all, and I've got some things that I got to get off of my chest and off of my heart, because I'm hoping that whatever I have to offer can help someone along their journey and whatnot. So I'm just gonna kind of go from that. I'll reveal it as I am called to. Right now I'm just simply called to just pull some cards right now. So thank you all for being patient with me as I figure out how to perfect my craft fully, which I'm definitely getting the hang of it. And I'm hearing the words trust yourself as I'm saying that. So I'm not sure if that's for me or for you, but I'm gonna take it as it is. And I'm hearing that it's for all of you. So this is Spirit's way of saying that it's not just for me, this is for all of you, meaning that it's for me, for my soul tribe, which is you guys, and then y'all soul tribe, and then their soul tribe, which means that it creates this beautiful web of energy that is just simply woven and interconnected. And even not even just simply, but there's like this complexity when it comes to the merging of these different types of vibrations and these different strings, but each string is a part of the same web. And even though everything can be a bit complex, there's so much beauty in it when you zoom out of it and you look at it for the totality of what it is. And that's such a beautiful way of looking at it, because I'm getting a vision of like a spider that's weaving a web, but the way that I'm seeing it is I'm seeing it from the perspective or from the angle where I'm like really close up, but I'm looking at it from, like, if this was like the spider web. I don't know why I'm gonna do the best that I can to explain this. So this would be the spider web, and like this would be me, and the way that I'm viewing it, this is so weird. But I hope you guys can understand what I'm saying. This is the web, right? And it's this way, and then this is me viewing it. But the way that I'm viewing it is like I'm viewing it from like this perspective. So like I'm close up on it, but the angle that I'm at, it only allows me to see so much. But then when I zoom out and I turn around and then I change it, and I zoom out, I can see it for like fully what it is, if that makes sense. That was a really weird way of putting it, I know, and I hope that I explained that right. I know sometimes when it comes to like metaphors and explaining the visions that I have, sometimes I can be a little, I don't know, not a little difficult for me to explain, but sometimes the words just evade me, I guess. But anyway, so there's this beauty about being able to look at things from a very different perspective. And I'm also hearing Spirit say that sometimes the only way out is through it, right? The only way to reach heaven is if you get through the darkness. Like, that's literally what the vibe is. And I feel like that's the type of energy, the type of time we're on. And this lets me know that I really have to share these messages. So this message is going to expand beyond what we're talking about right now. And I know for a fact that it ties into the dream that I had this rising. Now, typically what I like to do is I like to wake up at around 5 a.m. Recently, like, I've been doing a lot more of that. Waking up at 5 a.m. and or 6 a.m. and getting started with my day around that time. For whatever reason today, I was called back to sleep. Like I don't like to sleep with my phone directly near me. I like to put my phone on airplane mode and like put it like away from me. And sometimes I'll forget that it's near me, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying that to say is that this rising, I usually put my phone away from me in order to the world card wants to come out. And that forces me to get up and to go get it, to go turn off the actual alarm, which gets me up out of bed, right? But for whatever reason, I felt the need to just simply call out to, to my phone and tell it to turn off the alarm. With me doing that, I was pulled back into sleep, and then I had this dream. And that's when I realized, okay, it's the reason why I was called back to sleep was because Spirit had a message to give me. Because if you guys don't know this, I'm a gifted dreamer, and I've been dreaming since I've had these strong prophetic visions and these strong dreams since I was a little girl, since I was a child. And I'm also a very gifted lucid dreamer. Like, before I even knew the term lucid dreaming and astral projecting, I was doing it at a very young age. And I wasn't really, and that's so interesting that we're talking about this right now, because I feel like this has a lot to do with this Neptunian energy that we're feeling, because that's what I've been picking up on a lot. It's this Neptunian energy, right? So since I was a little girl, I was gifted. Like, I didn't realize that I was gifted. I just thought that, that's just, what life was for me. It was a normal thing for me. Showing up as a gifted, and, not showing up as a gifted individual, but just showing up and, having dreams and being able to communicate, with animals and things like that when I wasn't afraid, and being able to communicate with trees, and, being able to communicate with my environment. I always thought that I was crazy. I couldn't explain things like that to people. Like, you don't understand that at a very young age, especially, in the 90s, right? When we're growing up in the mid 90s. I can't believe I'm saying that. When we grow up like in the mid 90s, like these things, especially depending on the family you were in, it wasn't as easy talking to these individuals about the things that you experienced, right? But then when you grow and you age, I don't want to say age, but when you grow, expand, and evolve, and you actually start to tap into your intuitive gifts, you understand that the things that you went through when you were a child, oh, I'm loving this, Spirit, thank you. The things that you went through when you were a child, you don't necessarily understand it, but when you zoom out and you look at it from a different angle, you see that this was the reason why. And things may not be as apparent to you at that time, but if you trust it and you follow it. I apologize about that, y'all. My memory card ran out of memory, and I had to go back and delete some of those old videos that I had already uploaded onto YouTube. Where was I at? I was essentially saying that when you allow yourself to like kind of zoom out and look at things from a higher, or not a higher perspective, but from a different angle, you start to see just how much everything just kind of weaves together. And the more that you follow your intuition, you understand that you don't need a logical explanation immediately in order for you to go with something. You just have to simply go with that hunch. And you have to go with that intuitive feeling. Sometimes people have a really hard time distinguishing fear from intuition. And your intuition is always going to give you this sense of like peace. Like, if you go with this, I know that, like, if I go with this, I know that no matter what, everything is going to be all right. And it reminds me of Dory from Finding Nemo, where she could not understand. Well, it's not that she couldn't understand it, but she didn't always allow logic. She just knew that she should trust in her intuition. But see, then she had people like Marlin in her ears, giving her things and advice because of what they felt for her, because they always saw the fact that she was so forgetful, which wasn't her fault. She was just born this way. But they saw this, or he saw that as a weakness, and this, so he tried to override that because he felt that he was right. Like, he felt that it was because of what he went through that he knew more. But he was always using logic and that fear, and that's exactly what limited him, and it's what pushed him, and it's what pushed his son away from him. And it's the part of the human experience, right? And it's so interesting that we're talking about this. We're talking about fish here, right? And I don't mean to sound harsh or to sound as if I'm being insensitive, but there's a message in that from somebody. You have to be willing to shut out the noise, and you have to be willing to tune into your own inner void, into your own inner world, into your intuition, because God speaks to you when you do allow yourself to tune in. And then when you allow yourself to tune in, you then start to be divinely led. Being divinely led means that you are surrendering to the fact that you are not aware, or that you don't know. You don't know. There could be potential dangers, but there also could be potential safety. But if you are tuning into your intuition, then you will always be divinely led and divinely guided and also protected. I'm starting to trip over my words, and it's because my mind is moving a mile a minute. For those of you that are new here, I start stuttering when I start feeling a lot of things at once, and my mouth is trying to keep up with the way that my mind is working. That's the reason why I sometimes stutter and I trip over my words. It's because I'm downloading a lot. And it's one of those things where you have to tell yourself, it's like, I know that at some point in my life, I felt like I couldn't see the light, but now I'm seeing it because I'm looking at it from a different perspective. As I say that, at the very bottom of this deck here, we do have the Sun card, which I find to be so beautiful and amazing and right on time. It's so divinely on time. And with that message, I feel like the message that Spirit is giving us right now is that if you allow yourself to go through this darkness and not, even when you don't understand, eventually it will lead you to the light at some point. And you'll come to understand it. But right now, I just need you to trust yourself. Trusting your intuition. Things are a bit foggy right now. And it's understandable. It's understandable. Like, we understand. We, meaning your guides, they understand. Not everything is going to be as apparent. But that's the power of your intuition. Because even though you don't understand it at this moment, because you're innocent in this arena or in this dynamic or in this area, that does not mean that you are weak. Your innocence doesn't make you weak. Your innocence makes you pure. And you have to remember that. There is such a purity to you that Spirit is wanting to remind you of. And the more that you are in your intuition and you follow that, you will understand why things came to be this way at some point. Right now, Spirit is not asking for you to constantly question. And that's the power of Virgo, because remember, the opposite of Pisces is Virgo. Virgo seeks to understand, it breaks it down, and it wants to find the reason why so that it can take a practical approach to fixing it to make it better. Right? But then Pisces says, I know that no matter what, everything is going to be okay. I don't have the logical explanation, but that's what makes me powerful. My power may not lie in my intellect, or my power may not lie in my ability to count numbers or in my ability to perceive things from a mathematical or logical way. But you know what? I'm as equally strong when I'm in my intuition. And that is what the universe is teaching us now. There's so many things that we end up limiting ourselves to when we try to continuously find things using logic. Logic is going to get you so far. I'm not saying don't use logic. What I am saying is that logic will point to what makes sense, but it will not point to what the ultimate truth is. And that's just what we have to understand. As I say that, we do look, you couldn't make this up if you tried. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse right now, right? And it's this ultimately divine truth that will be revealed to you in time when you're able to understand it. Right now, Spirit is saying is that I want you to just simply tune into your intuition. And that is the power of the message that we have right now. Let's go ahead and turn the cards over. Let's see what we have. Oh, look at that. Talking about logic. We have the King of Swords right here. That's so interesting. Wow. I don't know why I'm having a hard time moving this card around. Okay, so we have here the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here, the World in reverse. We have the King of Swords in the upright position. We have the Lovers card here in reverse. We have the Ace of Cups, Three of Swords. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. We have the Sun card. There's someone that feels like they're wounded. Like someone feels like they're not... Somebody feels like they're not fully in their own like essence. They feel like there's this barrier. This King of Swords here is showing me that there is some type of like barrier. It could be the things that someone is saying to you to make you see something, but you know deep down that that is not what the truth is. Like, you know there's something more, there's something different. You may not be able to put your finger on it. We're going to leave this right here. You may not be able to put your finger on it right now, but in due time, that truth will be revealed. You just have to be able to trust in your intuition, because there definitely could be something that someone is saying that what I'm hearing is that they could be like acting as like the perpetrator. They probably don't even know what they speak, but there's something about the logical mind here that's causing more of a disruption to the internal, to the divine feminine, right? And I feel like someone is losing their way. It's like they want to move forward. They want to go into this space. Like, they want to see the light. They want to experience these things and push themselves forward and plunge forward. But they feel like they're constantly being drawn back because there's something that's stopping them. There's someone telling them, you can't do this. You should do it this way. It makes more sense if you do it like this. It makes more sense when you do it this way. But then what comes with that is the person is not they're not in their full truth or their full authenticity, because there's always someone outside of them them, trying to get them to see things from their perspective. And it's like, that's not what my story is, though. Like, that's just simply not what it is. I see someone having a hard time standing up to this King of Swords here. I don't see the King of Swords as a perpetrator. I see the King of Swords as someone that cares. Like, they care for you. But then they care for you, but then they also don't know what is good for you. But if they truly cared, and not if they truly cared, I don't want to put it that way. They truly do care. They just have a hard time expressing it in this way. This is pointing me to a father figure. This is pointing me to someone who's like a caretaker, like a provider. And someone is in this space where it's like, okay, but I want to do this on my own. I need you to let me try it. I know that I don't have all the answers, but how am I going to find the answer if you don't let me do anything? All you're doing is stunting my growth. You're not allowing me to experience anything. And you're trying to protect me from the things that you went through. But you experienced lack and limitation, not because you chose to, but because of your circumstances. I'm experiencing it because you won't let me do what it is that I know that I can do. You have to trust me enough to allow me to just do it. Let me work my magic. Trust me. I get the fact that you're trying to protect me from the things that you went through. But if you would allow me to be me and allow me to be in my energy and allow me to express, and if I get it wrong, okay. That's the beauty of life. Let me figure it out. Let me fuck up a little bit. Because that's the best way I'm going to learn. Let me mess up. Because at the end of the day, I gain more power and glory. And not even just glory. And not even just honor. But I get to test my limit. I get to experience what it's like to have the human experience. That is what I'm here for, Dad. Let me just do it. Like, I feel like someone is talking to their dad right now. And I don't mean to use such strong language if you're someone that... I'm hoping that you're not like a child listening to this, because my content is not for children. But what I will say is that this could be someone's inner child. This could be someone's inner child that we're talking about. But what I know is that I feel like someone is trying their best to just move forward and to progress, but they're being shut out from the world because of this voice that's telling them that they can't do it. You can do it. And even if you don't know exactly what you're doing, that is how you learn. You learn along the way. But it's like this King of Swords is speaking from a wounded place. And I'm hearing Spirit say that it's clouding your judgment. This King of Swords here needs to understand that the more that it tries to prevent, the more that it encourages and insinuates and instigates. Not even insinuate, but it instigates you wanting to do it more. It's acting as an instigation, not on purpose, but just simply because of what it's doing. Not everything is going to make sense all the time. And it's okay. That's the beauty of it. There is so much beauty and complexity. And you're understanding that. You have to allow yourself to just simply trust in where you're going. Trust and know that no matter what, everything is going to be all right. You may feel like this is like the ultimate surrender. Like this is the ultimate make or break. This is the ultimate make or break for somebody where they're faced with this decision. Do I listen to this voice or do I do what I know that I can do? Temperance card is here. Stop it. Temperance card is here. And I love that. And you know what? You may have to walk away. You may have to just simply leave. I see someone getting up and leaving in the middle of the night saying, you know what? I can't do this anymore. This is not good for me. I have to trust in my path. And I'm okay with trusting in my path because even though I'm going right through the darkness, I know that at some point I'm going to see heaven. I'm going to experience heaven. I know that heaven is on the other side. I can feel it. I can't logically explain it, but I can feel it. I can feel, and it's like some of you guys right now are going through a space in your life right now where your intuitive gifts are heightened. You are children of the water is what I'm hearing. You are a child of the water. You know these waters better than anyone. This is bringing me to Ariel, and this is bringing me to King Triton. Not joking. Like, it's so funny. This is bringing me to King Triton. And in the Disney movie with Ariel, how her dad just he wasn't understanding. All he saw was war. He saw the worst sides of the world. He saw the worst sides of humanity, which I get it. Like, I get it. But in that, he was led through hurt, through pain, through rage. Like, you know, he raged at some points, right? And he ruled with an iron fist, but it is that type of energy that prevented him from experiencing what he could have experienced with his daughter. Now, let's get out of this. My 3-year-old is okay. He sometimes gets upset when he doesn't get his way. Sometimes this may not even be like a daughter father or a son father or whoever. right? This could be a partner. This could be someone saying, if you do it this way, you're going to end up experiencing that. Well, you can't call the shots on what I'm meant to experience here. You are showing up to be my partner, not to be the voice of reason for me. I can be the voice of reason, but I feel like you're not trusting me to be who I am and to do what I can do. I get the fact that you care for me. I get that 100%, but that's not what my truth is. My truth does not depend on what you can perceive. My truth does not depend on what you can perceive. The truth is that I'm divinely led, and like, you're just gonna have to be okay with that. And if you're not okay, well, unfortunately, there's nothing else that we have to talk about right now. Someone needs to set a really strong but firm boundary. Okay. I can't really, let me see, what is this? I'm gonna pull this card out. This is the Seven of Wands, it looks like. All right, looking down at the cards here, okay? There's someone that wants to move forward, but someone is saying goodbye to somebody. Like, someone is definitely saying goodbye. Someone is saying goodbye to like an old life. I'm hearing the word reincarnation. Someone could be trying to figure out like why they're here, like why they came back to Earth. What is their purpose? Why did Spirit choose them? Spirit chose you because you are here to bring balance to this world. And the best way that you can do that is by you showing up. As I say that, oh my goodness, we have the Full card. The Full card is here. This is definitely one of those things where you just simply have to go as you are called. You have to go as you are called. No matter what anyone else outside of you is saying, you have to go with what is called. Because your heaven, you are headed straight towards heaven. That is the reason why you must continue to go and move forward. And you have to trust that no matter what, that you are okay, that you are more than okay. See, the thing is that what's been coming up for me recently, and not for me, but for me, for the collective, is that all of this that we're experiencing right now, we are learning how to get out of survival. Like, the human experience is understanding that we have the power to rewire and to change our reality based off of what we're thinking and what we're doing. We can filter out. You change the settings by changing your mind and by changing what you're responding to. That's what it is. Fear is what's coming up for a lot of people right now, but that's how you know when you're about to reach your breakthrough, because you start feeling this fear. It's like, I feel the fear. My fear is talking. It's trying to limit me because it wants to keep me safe. It wants to keep me from exposure because it doesn't want me to feel defeated or be harmed, or for my life to be terminated. That's what fear is to do. It's kept us alive for however many years. It's kept us alive, right? But it's no longer about us just simply being kept alive. It's about us thriving now. But we have to get past this fear. I just heard Spirit say that you have to integrate. You have to integrate this lower aspect so that in a way that is appropriate. But what is the appropriate way to implement this lower aspect, Spirit? What is the way? Okay, Spirit is saying is that the lower aspect, quote unquote air quotes, is that you're thinking about is your shadow. That's not necessarily a lower aspect. That is just a repressed part of you that you are unsure of how to integrate. That is what Spirit is saying. It is not a lower self. The lower self that you're thinking about is the more animalistic part of you, right? The one that says, I gotta go eat. The one that says, I gotta go I gotta go reproduce, right? Let's just use that word. I want to reproduce and, all that stuff. That's what you believe. That's what you would think to be the lower aspect of you. But you're already implementing the lower aspect of you through these things. Do you not eat? Do you not, for some of you, you do the act in order to, get pregnant and things like that, or simply for the enjoyment of it. You're already implementing that through what you're doing. You're just doing it in a more conscious way. You're doing it, for some of you, right? You're doing it in a more conscious way. You're doing it in a more intentional way. You're already doing that. What you're referring to is the shadow aspect, and you have to learn how to integrate the shadow. Well, the way that you integrate the shadow is you do it through art. You can do it through art, having the conversation, raising awareness to it, surrendering to the fact that there is this darkness. But when you allow yourself to surrender and pause and observe and judge it not for anything negative, but have compassion, then you'll start to understand the why. It will come to you at some point. That is the message that Spirit has for us now. Spirit, what else do we have here? Oh my God, look at that. Stop it. We have listening here. We have Bone Collector. We have Into the Unknown. And we have Ride the Wave. I'm sorry. Sometimes that accent comes out. I'm sorry. Talk about Ride the Wave. We have dolphins here. And dolphins do connect to me. They connect to Pisces energy. They connect to, obviously, the ocean, which is ruled by Poseidon, which is ruled by Neptune. Right? And so we're talking about this. It's like we're riding the wave right into the unknown. And the beautiful thing about that is that if you, and in order for you to listen, you have to turn something off first. You have to be willing to turn something off. And what you're turning off is this ability to constantly know and always talk. You're always talking. Not you. I'm sorry. I don't mean that to like you. What I mean is that someone is like always talking or saying something. And it's hard to hear when there's too much chatter. Does that make sense? Some of you are definitely being called into meditation because what you're looking at, what's going on is that you are being called to recollect, to go back and to think about the steps that you've taken. I want to read to you, Bone Collector. I just want to read it to you. Normally, I would use my intuition. I don't always use the book, because I like using my intuition, but I'm going to read it anyway. When the Bone Collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt and accept a version of the truth that then sets us up to behave a certain way in the future when faced with a situation similar to the original event. Wow. What we know about ourselves does become influenced by a perception of limitations. Stop it. We were just talking about this, you guys. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable or expect to be criticized. The Bone Collector reminds you that the truth is that you're a powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you and the wounding and is here for you as you reclaim it now. You have everything you believe you lack, and the Bone Collector is your inner resource. Act as if you have what you need and you'll find you have it after all. Anything is possible. With awareness, the wounds of the past need not define you. And then what it says here, Bone Collector, you are whole and have everything you need within. Spirit is at Spirit. Oh God, thank you so much. This is Spirit talking to you, saying that you have what it takes right now. And it's funny because that we're talking about that because you do have a Knight of Wands here in reverse. It's like you are powerful and you have this ability to move forward, but there's so many voices telling you, no. This King of Swords here is a representation of your fear talking to you. It's trying to keep you safe. It's limiting you because it wants you to be alive. It's a part of you that is lingering in the dark saying, no, we're going to go. We're going to stay here. We're safe here. And it's like, no. What Spirit is saying is that you have to be the guru. You are the guru that understands it, not in a negative way. You don't understand it as anything negative or positive. You just understand it for what it is. You see the truth. You see beyond the veil because you are a seer. You are a seer. How divine is that we also have our seer candle? That was so perfect. We have our, I can't fully show you because I don't want to tip the candle over, but this is our seer. It's on it's linked on the website. I'll link it down below. But you are a seer. And even though you may not be able to see everything clearly, you can see enough to know that everything is all right. Venturing off into the unknown means that you have to leave these pebbles and these bones where they are. You have to leave these bags where they are, and you have to be light enough for you to venture off. Babes, y'all are going into the void. You are going into the void, but guess what? You're going to see heaven. You're going to see heaven. The only way out this time is through. You are literally bypassing fear at this stage in your life. You are bypassing fear. And that is what Spirit wants you to know, is that you are bypassing fear. I speak so much love and life over you. Remember that you are carried through the situation. You are carried, you are seen, you are loved, and my goodness, you are going to be such an achiever. You are an achiever. And I want you to remember that. Like, you just have so much, you have more than just potential. I don't think, you know what? Sometimes I get so sick of hearing people say, you just have so much potential. If you were to just do this, you know what? Don't worry about my potential. Worry about what I can do. This is what I can do. This is what I'm doing right now. Don't focus on the things that I'm not doing. Focus on what I have been doing as well. And if you are focusing on what I am doing, I want you to, and some of you are wanting acknowledgement, and understand that not everybody is going to acknowledge that. Like, not everybody's going to see that, because they're wanting so much more for you, and they want to see you succeed, but sometimes they just don't know how to help you get there. Spirit is letting you know right now that the people that are around you love you. You need to set boundaries with them, because they're not trying to intentionally hurt you. For others of you, they very well may be. Excuse me, I'm getting hiccups because my body is doing what it is doing. You're not allowing your fear anymore to hold you back. That's where you're at right now. And if you are needing help with anything, let me know down in the comments. For those of y'all that know this, I have done everything. I've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes. And in fact, my work, okay, you have water codes here, okay. My work, a lot of it was done behind the scenes before, not even my work, but my calling and my purpose was well before I even started getting into seriously taking my magic seriously. I always showed up as a guide. I always showed up as a woman of wisdom. I always showed up as that. And that is how I showed up, right? And I don't do enough of putting myself out there. And I'm going to put myself on blast right now because I'm going to be transparent. I did not put myself out there enough because I didn't feel like I looked worthy enough to be out in the open, for people to look at me long enough for them to stay, because I thought that I had to be a certain way. I had to look a certain way to be accepted. And so it took me years to share my gifts with the world. It took me years to let people see me, because I felt that people just thought that I was like the ugliest person in the world, and that I just didn't deserve to show up. And even with me, I'm realizing even more now that I'm showing my gift, is that people will come to you when they need to come to you. You just have to simply show up and be yourself. And yes, people are going to not like you. People are not going to like how you look. So what? That's what, you incarnated here to get it right this time. And you're just going to have to trust yourself to get it right. You have to trust me, Spirit says. And so I'm letting you know that right now is that despite what the world may think of you, despite what people may say, you still have a gift. A gift is to be given, right? A gift is to be given. And you are here to give your gifts to the world. And there's some things that you keep in private that is sacred to you. And we honor that. Spirit honors that. But Spirit also knows, plunge. Don't hold back. It's time. Go for it. Dive in. Exactly. That was right on time. I love it when Spirit speaks to us, because Spirit speaks so clearly. And I feel like you are such a strongly gifted individual. And like, yes, you have so much potential, but this goes beyond a potential. This has everything to do with you doing it and being it right now in this moment. If there's anything that I want you to take away from this video, is that Nuna is telling you, that Nuna is giving you the wisdom from the divine, and also the encouragement, not permission, because no one gives you permission but you, your guides, your ancestors, and whoever your spiritual team is. I don't give you permission. You give yourself permission. I'm just a reflection looking back at you saying you can do this. That's all I am. Just a medium, just a voice behind the camera, giving you encouragement and the reminder that you can do this. This reading will stir something within you. It will speak directly to the parts of you that are awakening right now. And you have to be willing to trust it. Don't trust me. Don't trust anybody, right? Trust yourself. Because yourself, your intuition is going to guide you to the people who are the doorways. And we're opening up the doors for you to walk through. We are giving you the helping hand. And for someone right here, right now, who's listening to this, you may never return to this YouTube channel. But you know what? I welcome that, because you may not come back, or you may be called to. I'm not sure. That's up to you. That's your prerogative. But if you decide not to come back, I want you to remember what was told to you today. You can do this. And I want you to take that, and I want you to allow that to sink in if you feel intuitively guided to, and take it with you. And remember what Nuna's told you. You can do this. I don't care what anybody else is saying. You can do everything that is in alignment with you. Okay? Water codes. Ancient wisdom. The intelligence is within you. Of course. You have the sirens. Use your voice. Expansion. Freedom. And then you have planetary wave. You have soul mission. The inner call. Trust the inner call. Soul team. Oh my goodness. These cards are carding. Stop it. And then of course we have plunge, where it says don't hold back. It's time. Go for a dive in. Yes, you are entering into the unknown. And you're being called to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, and don't rely too much on logic right now. Be okay with that. Oh my God, look it. Oh my goodness. We have the mist. Trust your inner compass. Be led from within. The mist can be so foggy, and you may not understand everything. You may not be able to perceive everything. But once you allow the mist to evaporate, right? Or the fog to evaporate, or whatever, you can see more. And that's the power of meditation. Sometimes you have to sit still long enough for it to move. Right? It's not anything you're forcing, you're surrendering. You're not forcing, you're surrendering. And that's such a beautiful thing. Look at that. The ripple effect, part of something bigger. I love this. This is speaking directly to like the ripple effect. Details are taken care of. That detail word reminds me of Virgo. Oh my God. Spirit is always speaking so clearly and beautifully. We have here, it says, I'm sorry about that, you guys. I was looking at my camera. I heard a sound. I wasn't sure what it was. The pearl, alchemy, the reward at the end, from grit to grace. That's this Ace of Cups. You are being full and filled right now with so many beautiful gems and things, and it's not tangible. You're going to feel it emotionally first before you feel anything tangibly. Before you see it in your reality, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. I love y'all so much. Thank you for coming on to this YouTube channel. Oh yeah, one last thing. You have bounteous, generously given relationships coming together. And then at the bottom of your deck, you also do have the Two of Cups here. When you venture off into this void, you're going to end up coming across people that are going to help you get there to your destination, or whatever it looks like. You're going to have your soul tribe there to carry you along the way and to hold your hand. Also, you have everything embedded within you. You are the seed that is being planted right now into the soil, and you contain all the information you need to grow into this beautiful, bountiful tree. Okay? That gives endlessly. That is the message that Spirit has for us today. That it has for you today. So, if you guys need anything from me, please feel free to visit me online over at CassandraTurner.com. Thank you all for understanding that I am to be addressed as Nuna. I am no longer to be addressed as Cassandra or Cassie or anything of the sorts. I am to be addressed as Nuna. I know that it will take some time getting used to, but this is just simply a part of my journey and a part of my awakening. As I further, progress in my, not just my career, but as I further progress into my craft and just into me, if you will. So thank you for understanding that. If you guys wish to, you guys can follow along with me over at Magic of Eden. Over there, you're going to see my full spiritual name as my name that was replaced, that replaced the Cassandra Turner name. And thank you all so much for being in alignment with me and for trusting me to give you the messages. I love you, and I will catch you in my next video.